Alright, so Hasbro Pulsecon 2023. First things first, the only thing exciting from Power Rangers was the Omega Ranger figures, which were revealed earlier. And the Master Morpher, which is much the same. I've got to be honest, I'm really worried about Power Rangers moving forward, especially with Simon Bennett's view of stepping away from the tokusatsu tropes. Now, for Transformers, we've got that Legacy United poster. We have Magmatron confirmed, and we've seemingly had confirmation that he's going to be a Commander-class figure. I never really thought we'd actually see him come back. It's really beautiful to see. And we also have even bigger news. Titan Tidal Wave. I am super excited to see this. Like, Tidal Wave has always been a big mother fragger, and oh, he's going to look beautiful. And we have confirmation that the combined mode will be parts of Tidal Wave detaching to hook to Megatron or Galvatron, which is apparently going to be releasing around the same time. Now, when it comes to the toys they actually showed off today, well, yesterday, we've got the Core Class I said Core Class Galvatron. Well, that makes sense. His design was inspired by G1 Galvatron, but no, I meant to say Core Class Energon Megatron, and for its size, it's a really good Legend scale Megatron/Galvatron. He'll look really undersized on my shelf, but it'll be in scale with Nemesis that way, more or less. And I was really astounded to see that the other Core Class we had revealed was Beast Wars 2's Tasmania Kid. Who would have ever guessed that that character of all of them would be brought up? And I guess it's better than Snarl, because Snarl wasn't really a character. He was in the toy bio and tech specs. But outside of that, yeah, this was a shock. And now we move on to Bumblebee. With his official photos, he looks a lot better than those initial leaks. I'm really going to love this Bumblebee in my collection, and you wouldn't have to do too much remolding to release this later as Cyberverse Bumblebee, maybe as a Buzzworthy exclusive or something similar. And then we've got Rescue Bots' Chase. He got a huge glow up coming into the art style outside of Preschool Heroes. And I am really going to appreciate having an Autobot police bot around that isn't as shady as Prowl. Yeah, I know, Prowl wasn't so shady in G1, and I do like the original G1 Prowl, but you have to admit, the IDW interpretation of the character has led to a certain reputation for him. And then we move on to the whole Armorizer gimmick thing. Magnius. He's really cool and has a really interesting rockish golem design. I was pretty surprised that from what I've heard from certain sources, like the Transformers Slag podcast, that these guys seem to be borrowing elements from the Inhumanoids series. And they did say technically this guy isn't a Transformer per se, but rather a shape-shifting rock monster. Which is an interesting take. Yeah, I hear ya. This is just Rock Lords. And then, there's Windblade. I have waited for this one. Windblade's original figure, back in Thrilling 30, was a spindly, spiny piece of dreck, I'm gonna be honest. And the Titans Return one, that was really weirdly blocky for her. The Cyberverse figures were lacking because of the nature of them being kids' toys, and well, after experiencing the Deluxe Megatron, I'm sure, from Earthspark, I'm sure the Deluxe Windblade from Cyberverse couldn't have been that mind-blowing. Definitely wouldn't have served as a substitute for a proper one. And, you know, this one feels like we finally have a definitive Windblade. And then another one out of the blue. Well, not out of the blue, it was leaked, but we have Thundertron revealed. It's fantastic to see novel characters being brought into Legacy 2, making the line a real celebration of the entire franchise. The noted Zoid inspiration in the presentation does give him a bit of a look that elevates him above the original Prime toy, in my opinion. I'm seeing some real Murasame Liger influence. And then, our leader of that first wave, Tigerhawk. He looks fantastic. He's everything I would have wanted. I would have thought that I would have to go back and buy a flaking piece of junk off of eBay. Like, the original toy was great. Yeah, but all that back metal plastic and whatnot was a disaster waiting to happen. But this looks beautiful. The presentation claimed people have been wanting the back metal, and I think there's a really big misunderstanding here. Metallic paint? Absolutely, but for Primus' sake, don't give us that flaky-ass metal coating. Animated Prime is looking a lot better than I initially thought. He's looking at least on par with Gamer Optimus. Boulder Crash. Boulder Crash is just a cool-looking little magma cycle dude. And that's about all I have on the Transformers portion. I'm surprised we didn't hear anything about Reactivate or any toy plans for that. I kind of assumed that that was the reason why they started up the Gamer Studio series, so that they could capitalize on Reactivate toys. But I guess we'll have to wait until the Game Awards for news on that. Probably won't be news on the toys, though. Now, there are some Marvel Legends stuff relevant to me in this channel. Now, I skipped the Legends 3-pack of the No Way Home Spider-Man because I really didn't want to own 2 copies of the integrated suit. So I am excited to see we're not only getting a solo Raimi Spider-Man, a solo Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man, but also the final swing suit from No Way Home. All 3 are going to be easy pickups for me once I have income for them. I found it was really weird that Civilian Matt Murdock got a Legends release, but not like May or Happy. They were much bigger parts of the film. It really feels like the MJ's only point is to get the box out there as an accessory. Sandman? He is honestly a really easy pass, I'm sorry. He just didn't it's not even the figure's fault. It's just that he looked bad in the film. But then, for the other villains, we've got the fantastic looking Alfred Molina Dr. Octopus. Those tentacles seem really posable, actually. But more importantly, and relevantly, is that Goblin. I loved how Willem Dafoe's degraded Goblin suit gained vibes of Alex Ross's original designs for the Raimi Goblin in the film. The glider on this toy looks immaculate. And that face sculpt, it's just delightfully goblinated. It just has that manic presence that Dafoe brought to the character. And I'm glad that we have the option of the full Gobbo helmet, but it feels like a poor substitute for a proper Spider-Man 1 Goblin figure. And for Star Wars, I guess the Starkiller set looks pretty sick. And that's about all I've got on my thoughts about Pulsecon 2023. What stuff did you like? Are you as worried about the lack of Power Rangers content as me? Sound off in the comments. This has been Teletran4, and I'm signing out.